Hey, Lucinda.
Let's get you unmuted.
Yeah, I was just trying to unmute myself.
Perfect.
Hey, I'm like everyone else very grateful for those newsletters. They were amazing.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I'm calling on behalf of my daughter. So when she was 18, she had a car accident and fractured 6 vertebrae in her back and broke a collarbone. Now she's got like the burning in the mid-thoracic and a bulging disc. And what concerns me more than that is a fissure or a tear around C7. So I did start working with her on using the technique we learned over the weekend with the Marjoarm and the Cedar. But I don't think that will help with the fissure or the tear where she's leaking spinal fluid. So if you have any suggestions for that. I'll mute myself.
So I would probably still do that same technique that you're doing, but you could do this a couple of different ways. You could do the same technique you're doing, but instead of using Marjoarm, instead of using Cedar, use Helichrysm. And in really severe cases, that's what I do, is instead of the Cedar, like the Cedar is a great way to do it, and it's a great way to do it cost effectively. But when you're dealing with a really serious injury, the use of Helichrysm for that technique with the Marjoarm going back and forth is more potent. And it reduces inflammation, continues to reduce spasms. But the thing that's different for the Helichrysm in this is it's a much stronger astringent than the Cedar, and it's better at firming up the tissue. And Helichrysm takes it a step further. If there is areas where there's tears in the tissue, it actually will help bind the tissue. It doesn't always bind it, but I had some cancer patients where we used it where their wounds were just not closing. Like after a couple of years, they were not closing. And, I thought, well, we'll throw a bunch of Helichrysm at it. It didn't really change it a whole lot. And so I think it could help with that, but I'm not sure. But it's going to be, a bit more expensive because the Helichrysm. And so I would be very, just put a few drops of Helichrysm in, rub it in the area. Don't be super liberal with the Helichrysm and try to stretch it out.
I've got 3 bottles of it. So
okay, then I would still try to stretch it out. And if you don't want to go back and forth with that, like if you're pushed for time, just put Helichrysm on the area. Yeah.
okay.
And then do things to like deepen the breath, like Sitka, hyssop, larch, myrtle, have her inhale those things. Does she have anxiety, by the way?
She has some, yeah.
Let's see if just treating the respiratory tract like opens up the diaphragm, because anytime the diaphragm's tight, it makes the spinal muscles like clamp down. So if you deepen the breath, you're relaxing the diaphragm, which is taking pressure off of the discs and the joints along the spine.
All right, thanks.
But like, it sounds like you're sick. Like,